see, I've come back out in the garden today, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on from where I left off before. So you may well remember that at the end of the last film I was trying to sort out this grass here. I got some of it up, but there's still an awful lot left in there, but it got too late in the day and I was too exhausted, so I stopped. So I've now come back again for a little bit more. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to start with that grass straight away. I'm actually going to start from this end of the bed and gradually work my way up, because this actually disappears off into the corner. And I'm hoping that if I start from this side of the bed and gradually work my way up, it actually might be easier because I'll be attacking that massive root ball of that oriental grass from a different angle. So this is what it looks like at the moment. And hopefully by the end of the day, I would have made quite a dent in that. So let me get started and I'll keep you updated on my progress. Well, I've been working very hard. You can tell that because I've removed my, my jumper and I've managed to clear the ornamental grass that's here and all the weeds and stuff that was here. Now, when I started to do this bit here, there was the weed suppressant fabric on top. And I know why that was there, because this area is incredibly clayey, and also there are massive chunks of rock and concrete. So what there was here on top of the weed suppressant was a container with a plant in it, and not really much else, just a load of ivy that was sort of strewn all over the place. So that's most probably why there wasn't much growing in here, and it was all sort of on the top. So the weed suppressant stops the weeds from coming through, but any that grow on the top, it doesn't stop those. But I managed to, and it was quite easy actually, to pull the ivy off. I also went underneath the house there, and I got the ivy out there, so I think I've got all of that out as well. And the best news ever is I have managed to get this ornamental grass out, the whole thing. There were several unsavoury words as I was digging it up, but my good old trusty B&Q fork that I got 15 odd years ago, maybe even longer than that, is still going. I got it from B&Q and it cost me about a tenner, and it's still going. Okay, some of the prongs are bent, but that managed to get it out as well. So I'm going to stop now and I'm going to have lunch, and then when I come back this afternoon I am going to tackle Ivy Corner. I'm going to call it Ivy Corner because there's a lot of ivy in there. I've taken all the weed suppressant out. I also, there was sort of some, what do you call them, sort of log roll type things, edgings I suppose you would call it, all the way around, and there was some right up in the far corner which were lying one on top of each other on their sides. So I lifted the last one out and there was a mouse that scurried away. So that was a bit of a shock. I did squeal, quite high pitched. I don't know where it's gone, and I'm sure I'll see it again. But I did disturb it, so I did apologise to it after I'd calmed down a bit. So that's this for this morning. I'm going to have lunch and I will come back and I will carry on. So hopefully I will see you a little bit later. Well, as you can see, I've done an awful lot today. I've cleared all of the lower section, and then this afternoon I've got into Ivy Corner. I have nearly cleared Ivy Corner. I have done everything on this side of the fence panels all over here. That's all cleared, that's all gone. And then you can see that I've done I would say about 3/4 of that fence panel. There is still ivy on the other side, which I will get to in the next couple of days. But that looks quite a lot different from how it did earlier on this morning. I did find some very interesting and slightly unusual items in amongst these beds as I was clearing them. So let me show you what I found. Well, here is my little selection of treasures, we shall call it. In the corner I found a load of plant pots. Most of these I won't actually use because I've got so many of the smaller ones. I might keep some of the bigger ones, but the rest will just go down to the tip. A brick, but then you find a brick. But it's these, I don't know whether some part of this they wanted to make a rockery or what, I don't know. They weren't all together. They were in fairly close proximity to each other, but we've got some massive stones here. That which looks like part of a bollard, and another one, I really don't know. And then, I don't know if you can see this, I hope you can, a snake. It's a breakable one. Yes, I found that. I stuck the fork prong straight through it and dug it up and thought, what on earth's that? And it's actually a snake. Some other bits, I really don't know what this is. It's some ornament that goes in the garden. Something's broken off of it. And then another one here, which again, it looks like this is something that should go in a fish tank. But I don't know, and I have to admit the weirdest thing is this. I'm not sure what this is. None of it opens, but there's like a little boat. Oh, it's a boat on a wave. Oh, is it supposed to be Noah's Ark? I don't know. Anyway, this was in amongst the bed as well. Now, I'm not going to need any of these at all. I don't want them, so I'll be taking those down the tip as well. But they're the little treasures that I found in those two beds that I've just cleared. Well, that's it for today. I think I've done enough. I'm very tired now and I'm a bit stinky. And I've got to go and pick George up from school in a minute. So I'm going to call that quits for today. And then hopefully tomorrow I can carry on with clearing the last little bit of ivy from that corner, and then hopefully being able to get round the back, and then any ivy that's on the outer side of the fencing I can move as well and get off, and then that will be the ivy hopefully done. The bit in the corner, I came across a few spiders, nothing major or freaky, but the bit in the corner, if there are going to be any, that's where they're going to be. So if you hear a sudden high-pitched squeal, I'd have found one. I haven't found my little mouse again. I moved a bit of fencing stuff, and there it was underneath, and it scurried off, and I haven't seen that since, so I have no idea where he's gone. I just hope he hasn't gone in the house, so that'll be fun. But no, he was up in that far corner and the nearest door's there, so hopefully he's poodled off to find another home somewhere else. But I hope you found that interesting, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye bye.